Well, hello again. This week we discussed 1996's She's the One, and one of the plot points of the movie starred Mickey, played by Edward Burns, as he drove around Brooklyn in his cab. And the history of taxi cabs in the United States, and specifically New York City, has a very interesting history that I will discuss today. So for Mickey to drive a taxi in New York City, he needed to purchase a taxi medallion, and that is just the physical permit that allowed him to operate a taxi within the city of New York. No word yet on whether that included New Orleans, but we will get there. So again, the history of these medallions is fascinating. The medallion was created in the 30s as a way to both regulate the number of taxis that operated within the city, and then also regulated the number of people who could operate said taxis. So in 1962, the market value of a medallion was about $25,000. That price point allowed a lot of recent immigrants to purchase a medallion and basically start their own business. And many of them became successful using this model. So successful that by 2005, the price of an individual medallion had risen to $325,000. The price of a medallion rose steadily throughout the early 21st century. In 2010, a medallion's value was around $600,000, and by 2013, the value of a medallion peaked at $1 million. You can probably guess what happened next, but if you can't, enter the world of ride sharing. Anyone at this point with a vehicle could take anyone anywhere they needed to go. No medallion needed. So the writing was on the economic wall as to the future of a New York City cab. But ride shares are not all they are cracked up to be. All of us have had varying experiences with ride shares, but where Mickey had the freedom to take Hope all the way to Brooklyn, to New Orleans and back, a round trip of about 2,600 miles, today, ride shares simply do not have that flexibility. In fact, I opened a very popular rideshare app, entered the starting point as Brooklyn, and entered the destination as New Orleans. And guess what? That is simply not available. So even though rideshare drivers are listed as contractors, they don't have the flexibility that a typical contract worker would. So something to think about. Or maybe it was a movie and taxi cab drivers really don't have that kind of flexibility, and Mickey just took it upon himself to embark on a new adventure, embrace life, and get married in the process. And if you thought that ride shares were the end of this story, think again, because as we speak, self-driving cabs are operating in San Francisco as we speak. The company that operates them, Cruise, is planning a nationwide rollout. But with any new technology, there are bound to be some hiccups, including incidences of Cruise vehicles driving into oncoming traffic, into wet cement, and sadly, at least one fatal accident involving a cyclist. So we are just going to have to wait and see where the future of taxis, ride shares, self-driving vehicles, all of it takes us. No word yet on whether a Cruise would be able to take someone on a 2,600 mile round trip journey, but again, that is for future us's to see and figure out. But here in the present, go ahead and hail the subscribe button so you never miss a thing. We appreciate our listeners, our subscribers, our supporters, As you know, new episodes of the Real Relationship Podcast drop every Thursday, so go ahead and subscribe on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. We can't wait to continue bringing you more content and more great episodes. So until next time, we will see you later.